Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to the NoDQ live recap of NXT Takeover 25. Unfortunately, I still do not have an office. My office was destroyed last week in a very unfortunate incident. I am trying to work on rebuilding that office, but in the meantime, I have a makeshift location to record this video. What a show tonight. NXT, I'm not even sure what else to say at this point. It's like if there was ever a guarantee in life, there are now three things pretty much that are guaranteed: death, taxes, and NXT being a great show. Every time they swing for the fences, every time it's a Babe Ruth home run with NXT. Another incredible show. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it yet, you should go out of your way to check out the show. I'll do a quick review here, and then I also want to give my thoughts on Dean Ambrose, who is now known as Jon Moxley, and his shoot interview with Chris Jericho. Also, he did an interview with Wade Keller of Pro Wrestling Torch. Both of those interviews I also recommend you check out. In my opinion, that Jericho interview is one of the best shoot interviews I've ever heard. Very good stuff from Jon Moxley, and it's hard to not root for the guy after hearing that interview. Chat site forms with a $2 super chat. Was NXT 25 better than AEW Double or Nothing? That is the $1 million question. And I don't even know. I'm going to need to put a poll up because I want to get the opinion of the NoDQ Galaxy. But we'll talk about that more at the end, which show was potentially better. Power Packers 90 with a $5 super chat says, the war is on. NXT and AEW firing the big guns. Main roster WWE is already dead to me, he says. Great show, 6 stars. DON, 6 stars too. So there you go. Power Packers is pretty much feeling like both were equally great. All right, so let's start with the opening match. Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong. Man, not only does WWE have this track record with these great NXT shows, but the openers are always amazing, and this one was no exception. We had Beth Phoenix doing commentary for the show. What did you guys think about Beth Phoenix? I thought she was all right, but to me, Mauro Ranallo is just light years ahead of her. And quite frankly, Nigel McGuinness, as much as I like Nigel, I think Ranallo really adds to this show a lot. He showed so much passion during every single match, and I'm just blown away by his energy and how much enthusiasm he has. He makes me excited about what I'm seeing. Not that it's already exciting as it is. It's Ranallo enhancing what we're seeing that makes it even better. It's like the icing on the cake. Seen some mixed comments about Beth, although some people are positive, saying Beth is way better than Renee. That's from Radical Velocity. And Mike Nixon says better than anything Renee Young has done. But on the flip side, SN1281 says Beth was awful. And Noah says Beth will figure it out, give her time. Which is a fair judgment because she just got into the role and it might take time for her to get more comfortable doing it. So we'll see. We definitely need to give her some time on it. So Matt Riddle, Roderick Strong. Excellent opening match. You got the dueling chants for both guys. Just so many moves. And I have trouble keeping up with it. They did so much stuff in this match. Very fast-paced. Total non-stop action. I remember back during TNA and they were trying to do these matches where it was move, 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 move. And, it's very entertaining stuff. I know some people think they need to slow it down a little bit, but the whole point of the opening match is to get the crowd hot, start the show off on a strong note, and this match accomplished that. Just lots of moves, lots of back and forth between these guys. Very competitive match between these two. You had your near falls. Strong hit a bunch of forearm strikes, and Riddle still kicked out. So, yeah, you could argue maybe they shouldn't be doing all the near falls in the opening match. Maybe they need to slow it down a bit. What do you guys think? Do you think they're doing too much in the opening match, or do you think every match should be an attempt to have the best match of the night. So I know there's different opinions on it. What do you guys in the chat room think? Do you think they did too much in this match and they were setting the bar too high? Caleb Jacobs with a $2 super chat says, did you happen to get my... Caleb, and thank you for that. I will address that comment when I get to the match, so that way I'm not by the place. And Mike B with a $4 super chat says, as per usual, NXT was phenomenal. Save WWE Triple H. And I will get to that more later when I discuss the Jon Moxley shoot interviews that he did. Power Packers 90 with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Power Packers. He says, did you notice the AEW shot? Commentary saying NXT is the only true alternative to WWE. Yeah, I did catch that. That was quite amusing. And yeah, I think very telling. I mean, we all knew going in the NXT show was going to be great, but it felt like the extra effort was made to make this the best show possible. And I mean, they really do that anyways, but I feel like there might have been even more motivation now. Maybe it's just a feeling I have, but it just seemed like they were going that extra effort. Like, if 100% is the most possible you can do, they were trying to do like 110% or something like that. It was just an incredible show. And right up there among the best NXTs. And it's so hard to say like what is the best NXT pay-per-view of all time, because they're all so great. And it's like, you can't just pick one. I need to pull people on that too, like this NXT versus NXT TakeOver New Orleans, because they were both up there. I mean, man, what a show. I mean, it was just, wow. But anyways, Matt Riddle picked up the victory over Roderick Strong. Like I said, really strong opening match as usual. No surprises here. I mean, no surprises in the sense that everything's always great. Next up, speaking of great, we had the tag team ladder match, which again, move. It's total nonstop action. I know some people don't like it, think it's too much, but man, this match was just so much fun to watch. These guys were doing all sorts of crazy things, and everybody shined. I love these matches where everybody looks strong, everyone gets their moment. And, you know, to be honest, I wasn't all that familiar with these tag teams, but now I am. Now I'm starting to get what these tag teams are all about. You had Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish versus the Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. Colin Andrew with a $2 super chat says, this is why I love wrestling, hashtag NoDQ NXT. And thank you for that, Colin. I appreciate it. Noah says, this ladder match blew out Money in the Bank, simple as that. I would agree. I think this was better than two main roster ladder matches. Although, you know, that one, the men's one, I thought was really strong. But this one, just excitement from start to finish. I mean, it was a demolition derby. I mean, that's really the best way to describe this match. Just tons of stuff. Never a dull moment in the entire match. Cindy with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Cindy. She says, already set up the poll and tag NoDQ.com via Twitter about which pay-per-view is better. Takeover or Double or Nothing. Also, I'll be back home Monday. Well, hopefully you get home safely, Cindy. And I'm actually going to post the poll on NoDQ.com probably after this show. So you guys should head over to NoDQ. You could also check out some of the images from the show, some of the clips of the highlights, NoDQ.com/news. Check that out. So yeah, Street Profits came out. They had a big entrance. They were going through the crowd. I wonder if that was telling that they were going to win the match. One thing I noticed on this show, well, not exactly. Let me think about this. Yeah, not exactly. I'll get to that more in a minute. But it felt like, at least for this match and then another match on the show, the people that got the special entrances ended up winning. So yeah, I mean, this was great. Crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." Poor Kyle O'Reilly. He was taking a lot of punishment in this match. I think he may have lost a tooth at one point. Just so many brutal moments, and the crowd started chanting "Mamma Mia," which is what they do every time there's something crazy going on. They were pretty much all the chants that you can think of: "Mamma Mia," "Fight Forever," "This is awesome," all the dueling chants. The crowd was red hot. They were in, where were they? Somebody help me out here. What city were they in? Somewhere in the Northeast. It's like Connecticut. I'm forgetting if it's like Bridgeport, Connecticut. Somewhere around there, I think. Somebody in the chat room help me. Mauro Ranallo was fantastic. He was so into this, like you wouldn't believe. Okay, it was Bridgeport, Connecticut. Okay, good. I got it correctly. Yeah, Hartford, Connecticut was where Money in the Bank was. Just enhanced the whole match. He showed so much excitement and passion. Really, he is the best announcer in wrestling right now. With all due respect to Jim Ross, right now it's Ranallo. JR did a great job at Double or Nothing, but let's be real here. It's JR past his prime. He still did better than most other announcers, with the exception of Ranallo. I would say, JR is number 2 right now, but number 1 has to be Mauro Ranallo. Although not everybody agrees with me. Daniel Allen says Ranallo makes me cringe, not a fan. See, I love the fact that he shows so much passion, because I think if the announcers care, then the fans care. The announcers are supposed to help you care about what you're watching, and Ranallo does that. He shows so much passion for it. So anyways, all the teams were doing all sorts of crazy things. Jason, his name is spelled so weird, or Jackson Riker. I'm not even sure. It's Gunner. I'm just going to call him Gunner because I don't like the spelling of his name. So he's just Gunner to me from TNA. Gunner came out and started beating everybody up. But then they all got together, took him out with a ladder. That was a great moment. Jackson Ryder, but it's like his name is spelled all funny. But I'm just going to call him Gunner, damn it. So we had Forgotten Sons. They were on the verge of winning the match. They pushed. You had Lorcan and Birch and Undisputed Era climbing the ladders, and then you had the Forgotten Sons pushing both of those teams off the ladders, and then you had the Street Profits come out of nowhere. I'm forgetting the name of the one guy. He did the spear, and then I think it's Montez that did the dive onto the ladder and then knocked one of the Forgotten Sons members off. I'm not familiar with most of these guys. Just being real with you. I don't watch the NXT weekly shows, so a lot of these guys were new to me. But I believe it was Montez. Yeah, it was Angelo Dawkins that did the spear. Thank you for that, Noah. See, I need a little bit of help here. I'm sure I'm going to get some negative comments. People saying you need to be watching every week. You're not doing your job. My main focus is watching Raw and SmackDown and covering those shows. So NXT is, watching that is secondary. Although I am going to try to start watching them on a weekly basis. I told Caitlin I would do it, so I'm going to do it. Mike B with a $5 super chat says, if Mauro ever went back up to the main roster, I think him and Corey Graves would work well together. I agree. And if it was just a 2-man team, you don't need 3 men on the show. 2 is just fine as it is. But thank you for that, Mike B. I really do appreciate it. So anyway, Street Profits, they picked up the victory. A great ending, great match. And yeah, must see. If you didn't watch the show tonight, you definitely got to watch this match and really watch the entire show. The entire show was amazing. So next up, we had the Velveteen Dream versus Tyler Breeze. That's right, Tyler Breeze back in NXT. I guess it's a full-time thing now. He's going to be a regular in NXT. They were playing mind games with each other, trying to one-up each other with the mind games. Dream even grabbed Breeze's camera at one point and took a selfie. And then Breeze was able to take advantage of that and hit Dream with a super kick. A good match here. This was a nice showcase for Tyler Breeze to get people to take him seriously again after all that time of being lower card WWE, doing the comedy stuff. He went out there and proved he can still perform at a high level and be taken seriously instead of being a comedy character. So good for Breeze going out there and having another really strong match on this show. Crowd was into him, chanting, "This is gorgeous." And Breeze almost got the victory. He came really close. He hit the beauty shot, but Dream actually rolled out of the ring. And Dream was on the verge of getting counted out, but Breeze refused to win the match via countout. He did not want to take the cheap victory. Of course, this backfired on him. Dream used the belt to distract the referee and also distracting Breeze. Dream hit the Death Valley Driver, which he calls the Dream Valley Driver, hit the big elbow and retained the title. So I really like how this was done because I think it was the right call. I know some people felt Tyler Breeze should have won the title, but I think you need to build him back up. You know, it's his first major match back in NXT. And, you know, he still has that, unfortunately, he has that stench from WWE, and people think of him as the comedy guy. So I felt it was the right move for Dream to win. But I really like the way this match was set up because it made Breeze look strong. He could have won the match by countout, and he chose not to do it. So yeah, I thought that this was very well done. Yeah, the move is called the Purple Rainmaker. I know, it's an elbow. I don't care. But yeah, they just have so many moves and so many names. Like, it's hard to keep up on with all the names of the moves, and everyone has their own name given to the move, and yada yada yada. So yeah, I'm gonna make mistakes here and miscall moves. Sue me. After the match, we had Velveteen Dream give Breeze his phone back, and the crowd, of course, wanted a selfie. So I guess this was their version of the handshake. Velveteen Dream and Tyler Breeze took a selfie. And I guess all is good. Maybe Breeze will get another match. Maybe they'll team up. I guess only time will tell. But another solid match here, and good showing for Tyler Breeze. Next up, we had the NXT Women's Championship match. Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai. Shirai came out with a Rey Mysterio mask, paying tribute to him. Another solid match here with the women. Actually, really strong match. Maybe the best women's match in quite some time on an NXT pay-per-view, because I felt like some of them were kind of average. I thought this one was better than average. I think Shayna looked really strong here, and Io looked really strong. And again, that's what's so good about these pay-per-view matches is everyone looks good. Even the people that lose look good. And that's how you should book wrestling. You have winners and losers, you build up somebody, but you have the loser look strong in defeat, so people will take them seriously and want to keep seeing them fight for whatever championship or match they're in. Big G with a $5 super chat says, Savage line of the night, Io can go back to Japan with Nakamura, Asuka, and Kairi. Shayna Baszler forever. And I knew Big G was going to be happy about this one. Caleb Jacobs, $2 super chat says, my first super chat reminder. Okay, maybe I should just forget, Caleb, so you can just keep sending me. No, I'll mention it now. He says Tyler Breeze should have won, and he says Morrow is so cool. Yeah, I think it was the right move for Dream to win, but I agree with you about Morrow. Morrow is so cool. Just did a tremendous job on this show, and thank you for that, Caleb. So yeah, you had the MMA horsewomen coming out, trying to interfere. Candice LeRae came out with a kendo stick to even the odds. So maybe it's going to be Candice, which I'd like to see Candice win the title from Shayna. I've always been a big Candice LeRae fan. She's one of the few people that I watched for a long time before she came to WWE, because she used to compete in PWG for a number of years. I saw a number of her matches in person, so I always thought like she had the real star power to be a big time player in WWE. So yeah, I'd like to see Candice be the one to dethrone Shayna Baszler. But yeah, we had Candice come out to save the day, but it wasn't enough. Baszler got her submission on. I don't remember the name of it. And Io was trying to fight out of it, but eventually she did tap out. But the story is, after the match, Io she had enough of Baszler. She totally snapped. She attacked Baszler with the kendo stick. She grabbed the chair and did a moonsault with the chair. Yeah, yeah, this was, again, a way to keep Io Shirai strong in defeat, having her just completely lose it after the match. And then the crowd's chanting, "You deserve it," at Baszler as she's selling her beat down. And Noah Foster thinks it's going to be Candice versus... Yeah, that's the place I think it's got to happen here. Unless they do one more Io Shirai versus Shayna Baszler match in Toronto, which they could possibly do, like some kind of gimmick match, like no holds barred or something. That's also possible. And then we had the main event, Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, baby, for the NXT Championship. Stephanie McMahon was shown in the crowd, and Britt Baker, who of course is part of AEW now, and she was given, it was quite amusing. They also announced that the next NXT pay-per-view will take place on August 31st, the same day as AEW's All Out pay-per-view. So very interesting. The UK pay-per-view is going to be way earlier in the day, so I mean you can watch both shows. But yeah, it's going to be a really busy day for sure between those two shows. Plus, I believe there's a New Japan show that day as well. So there's going to be a lot of content for wrestling fans on that day. It's going to be a big day for wrestling for sure. Adam Cole had a rapper for his entrance. I have no idea who that guy was, but I did look him up on Twitter. Apparently, he does work for WWE, but I haven't seen him do anything yet, so totally unfamiliar with the guy. Crowd was really into Adam Cole, of course. Lots of dueling chants for both guys. They were chanting NXT when the match got started, so you knew the crowd was going to be fully invested in this. Adam Cole almost got the last shot on pretty much right from the get-go, which is how he won the first fall at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. So nice little throwback to that. So many super kicks in this match. I mean, they were going back and forth with all these big moves. Adam Cole hit a bunch of super kicks, and then Gargano hit one that knocked Cole to the outside, and then they were on the outside and hit each other with super kicks. Yeah, they definitely love their super kicks, that's for sure. They had submissions that they were trading back and forth. They were actually trading each other's finishers. Cole actually put on the Gargano escape, and then Johnny Gargano ended up hitting the last shot on Cole, and we had more near falls. Crowd was chanting "Fight Forever." Gargano went for a dive on the outside, and Cole hit a super kick, followed by the Panama Sunrise, which I guess is like the Canadian Destroyer. Adam Cole went for a cover, got him in the ring, but Gargano kicked out of that. So many near falls, and the crowd was just like on the edge of their seats for this. Like I said, chanting "Fight Forever." I know I'm lagging, guys. There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. NoDQ Soldier with a $2 super chat says, "Aaron, who is on your T-shirt?" Oh, this person? This is Bob Backlund right here. So Adam Cole came really close to winning the match with the last shot, but then he went to the outside, grabbed the steel chair. Gargano went to take out Cole, but accidentally took out the referee by mistake. Gargano kicked the chair into Cole's face and then went for the pin. Of course, the referee was down, so you know how this is going. Usually when this happens, the champion's getting screwed. The crowd was chanting the pinfall, like they chanted 10, I think, at least. Gargano was checking on the referee, and then Adam Cole tricked Gargano. He was like signaling for Undisputed Era to come out, but it was a setup. They weren't really coming out. Gargano got distracted, and then Cole hit a DDT. However, Gargano once again kicked out of that. Chris Mace with a $2 super chat says, "Too short title reigns for Johnny, shaking my head." Gargano went for another last shot, but then Gargano collapsed. Gargano then was playing possum, got the Gargano escape on. Cole got out of that, hit the Panama Sunrise, and then another last shot to finally win the NXT Championship. Adam Cole beats Johnny Gargano only about, what has it been? Less than 3 months since Gargano won the title. So really short reign here. I was a bit surprised by that. Crowd was very happy, of course. Undisputed Era came out. Big celebration. And Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano are now the only 2 Triple Crown winners in NXT history. Keith Johnson with the $2 super chat says, Aaron, what's your impression of the Street Profits? They looked good from what I saw. Again, I wasn't familiar with them going into this, but they definitely showed a lot of energy in this match, and crowd was really into them. So yeah, good for them. Happy for them that they're the tag team champions, and keep NXT moving forward here. All right, so now we'll do the letter grade, and I don't even know what grade to give this show. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I think I'm just going to give it a solid A. Maybe if they had like one big surprise or one real big shock on this show. Although I was a little bit surprised that Cole won the title, but I'm going to give it a solid A. It's up there among the best NXT pay-per-views of all time. And pretty much it looks like you guys are agreeing on that. Kev Dog with an A. Supermarket 2121 with an A. Colin Andrew with an A. CC Drink with an A. Simply Cindy with an A-. Dale Campbell with an A. Curtis Butler with an A-. So yeah, pretty much A's across the board here. Kev Dog says one of the GOATs. And Chat Site Forums gives it an A+. So there you go. So now I got to say A- tonight was like now better. Double or Nothing or NXT Takeover 25. So Cindy, I know I'm freezing. Okay, I got to time out for a second. Okay, hopefully that's better. If it's not better, then there's nothing I can do for the rest of the stream. So I'm going to talk about Jon Moxley real quick, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. All right, people are saying it's better, so I'm happy about that. I'm not sure. Sometimes the stream gets lagging for whatever reason with the Wi-Fi. And Gilberto says I'm using a 56K modem. Yeah, pretty much. So which show did you guys prefer? Takeover or Double or Nothing? Let me know in the chat room. Cindy says in her poll it's 50% for Takeover and 50% for Double or Nothing. Caleb Jacobs is going with AEW. Chris Mace is going with Takeover. SN1281 says DON. More Faves DON. W Glass 90 Takeover. Chat Site Forum says NXT. Hamp Connell says AEW. Ma Wrestling says Double or Nothing. Chat Site Forum says NXT. CC Drink with Takeover. Power Packers 90 with AEW. And Noah Foster, interestingly enough, is going with AEW. And Cindy's going with AEW. So, wow. 2 of the biggest NXT supporters going with AEW. That surprises me a little bit. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about the Jon Moxley interviews. He did one with Chris Jericho, and then he did one with Wade Keller. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't heard them yet. It's not really any new information, but again, it pretty much just confirms what has already been out there, all the rumors and speculation. Basically, Jon Moxley, without being negative, just stated things as he saw them. He said that he would try to pitch ideas, and Vince would often just make him go out there and do things that he felt wasn't really right for his character. And he just went blatantly out there saying that Vince is the problem with WWE, that Vince is making some good decisions, but he's also making a lot of bad decisions. And Moxley even brought up how you look at NXT and how well received it is, yet why is Raw and SmackDown not received well all that often? And the answer is Vinny. He's the one guy that makes the difference between the quality on Raw and SmackDown and NXT. He talked about how, Raw's 3 hours and there's a lot of filler, and he's not sure what to do, but yeah, 3 hours is 3 hours, and it's a lot of TV time to fill. And I think we all can pretty much agree 3 hours for a weekly television show is too much. And we've known this for years, you know, going back to WCW, 3-hour nitros, too long. So going in when WWE started doing the 3 hours every week, it's like you knew it wasn't going to be a positive in the long run, because they're just going to have too much material. And then, of course, when you have to answer to Vince and it's Vince's final decision, it's hard for guys to really have that creative freedom. And Jon Moxley / Dean Ambrose, this is a guy that really wants to go out there and be creative and have some artistic integrity, which I really respect. I think that the guy is doing this for the right reasons. He has passion. He wants to be creative, and that's what we need. We need guys that can think outside the box and try different things. And he even brought up, like, if Steve Austin came around in 2019, there'd probably be no Stone Cold Steve Austin. There'd be no Austin doing the beer truck to Vince or Austin attacking Vince in the hospital. Yeah, it's like Austin got to that point because he was able to be creative, and a lot of these guys just don't have that opportunity to think outside the box because everything is just so scripted and overproduced. And he even brought up how, like, he would do promos for AEW and he'd get them done in like one take, 2 minutes, it would be done. And then he talked about how, like, he would be doing promos in WWE and it came off good, but then Vince had an issue with something and they had to redo the whole thing. And his attitude is pretty much is like, it's live television and it's like a sport. And if it was like a sport, in sports you're going to have bloopers and screw ups. So he doesn't see the big problem with it. He thinks it brings more authenticity to everything, which I agree with, you know. I think you got to let the guys go out there and just go with their gut. And Ambrose, like Steve Austin, I feel like he goes with his gut feeling and he just wings it, does the best he can. That's what Steve Austin always did, you know. He would go out there and he would just say, you know, it's live. You got one take. You got to go out there. You got to hit that home run in one take. You got to just go with your gut feeling on it. And I think that's how Ambrose is wired. You know, he's not wired to be reading off a script word for word and doing something that he doesn't feel in his heart is right for his character. So really, really amazing interview with Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley, whatever you want to call him. So check out those interviews if you haven't already. And on that note, I will go ahead and wrap up this live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video tonight. If you did, please tell a friend, spread the word. Make sure you guys check out the NoDQ top 5 videos. I have 2 up so far, and I do have many more coming up. So check those out, spread the word, and I will